All right, Ralph Havens here, Beyond Limits Physical Therapy in Fairhaven, beautiful Fairhaven, Washington. And I'm changing some of the personal details of this story because, patient confidentiality. And but I want to get this information out because it's something that can help a lot of runners. So I had a runner years ago that came to see me, and she had a hip pain and it wouldn't go away. She couldn't run more than 1 minute at a time, and she was going to a very good physical therapist, highly respected, very good, doing exercises, all sorts of stuff, and kept trying to run 1 minute and then rest and walk for a few minutes and 1 minute. But she was doing that for a whole track season. And she came to see me, and we found the root cause. I gave her something to do in the physical world, something to change in her way that she was living and doing things, and also worked on her. And she felt much better, and she came back a week later and she was able to run for a few minutes. I saw her once a week for a few weeks, and she got her track season back and was able to compete again. So that's the difference between just keep trying to find something to do but not being able to find the answer, to finding the actual answer. Now, I've had many examples of this, so I'm going to run through a few, again, changing personal details, but so that you know what's possible if you're dealing with a chronic or recurring running injury, if you can't get through the track season, if you're a coach and you're frustrated with some of the runners that keep getting injured, and even though they're doing the right dosage and the right training and all the right things, getting the right therapies, but they're just still not progressing. So I had another runner who came with knee pain and was unable to run. It was very frustrating because he would walk around with his team and couldn't run. Tried to run, couldn't run. And he was also getting good therapy. We saw him, I did some treatment once a week for a few weeks, and by a month or two down the road, he was back to running and racing, and actually PR'd in the mile, and his words were, I couldn't have done it without you. So another example, and I tell these just not as a bragging thing, but just as a way to say, hey, something, there's a reason you're not healing if you're not healing. I had a guy that was limited with groin and hip pain for over a decade, and he came to see me, and we found the root cause. It was actually not in the joints and muscles as the primary, but in the pelvis. We fixed it up, shifted things with the manual therapy, and gave him specific things to do, and he was back to running. Went from where he couldn't run except for run walk at 12-minute mile pace to doing some intervals at 6-minute mile pace, 7, 8, 9-minute mile pace runs, and he's even back to racing. So there's numerous examples. I've got another guy who was a track runner who had hip pain and only limited to 10 miles a week, but and his coach even told him to stop running, but that he couldn't get there, and we got that solved out, and he actually had a PR in the personal record at the end of the season, and in his signature event on the track. So if you're dealing with a chronic or recurring running injury, my name is Ralph Havens. I'm a physical therapist here in Bellingham in Fairhaven, and I've solved these kind of things for myself and for my clients over the years. There's a reason your body's not healing if you're still dealing with something, or it still keeps coming back. So if you need my help, if you want to take a look, come see me. I'll do a free consult. We'll do the mapping assessment and find out what's going on, and let's get out there and run, really run. All right, you guys, enjoy the day.